according to Joe Tsai, Kyrie Irving still hasn't done enough to return to the team. He's not supposed to be playing today against the Los Angeles Lakers, and doesn't look like he's going to be playing against the Kings, and very likely throughout this road trip. And if he doesn't return on the road trip, that means he's probably not coming back till the earliest would be the 20th of November. So basically, he missed the entire month. The suspension was not just 5 games. It was minimum probably 10 games. And that's assuming he comes back at all. I still don't think he's going to play a game for the Brooklyn Nets again. I think they're going to sooner or later come out to a buyout. But before we dive into all the details, this is what Joe Tsai had to say. He has to show people that he's sorry, what's important, and what people miss. He only apologizing after he was suspended. So Joe Tsai doesn't really buy his apology, yet Joe Tsai met with Kyrie Irving. Joe Tsai said that, they had a good conversation. Kyrie Irving's met with Adam Silver. He's met with the Players Association. The Players Association has came out and condemned this. Jaylen Brown has came out and condemned these 6 rules, all that stuff. He's, a vice president of the Players Association. LeBron James has even came out and been vocal about the suspension. Let the guy play. The guy's done everything you've asked him for. That is within reason. The Players Association has already said that they're not going to tolerate these rules and stuff like that because it's setting a precedent that is just, there might not be going back for. That's too much power, right? And I don't believe that the Brooklyn Nets gave those 6 criterias because they really want to see Kyrie turn things around. I think that was their out. I think that was their escape. That was their argument to say, hey, we gave Kyrie an opportunity to come back, and he just didn't do it. So guess what? We don't get to be the bad guys. And all of their actions continuously. This organization is dysfunctional, and they are an absolute mess. That is what they are. It doesn't get any more clear than that. This organization not only ruined themselves now, but also for the future. What star is going to want to go to the Brooklyn Nets the way that they are constructed, with Sean Marks and Joe Tsai as the showrunners? What star would want to go there? Because they know if things go bad, not only am I going to be handcuffed there to where you're not going to allow me to move and you're not going to trade me even if I ask, but if anything goes bad with me personally, you're going to throw me under the bus and make it a whole spectacle. This was never about Kyrie Irving and what he did. This was about staying in the headlines repeatedly, time and time again. As much as Brooklyn wanted to say, we just care about basketball, we just want to get back to basketball, blah, 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 blah. All of your actions show otherwise. The only reason they didn't sign Ime Udoka is because the NBA stepped in and basically said, no, time out. You just condemned Kyrie Irving. You made this big old spectacle, and now you're going to go hire a coach that was suspended by an organization that coach just took to the NBA Finals in his first season because of allegations. Why would you make that announcement? Why make that announcement to begin with Ime Udoka if you're the Brooklyn Nets, unless you knew for a fact you could get him or that you were going to get him? They changed their mind because of public backlash. What did you think was going to happen? The Brooklyn Nets have to be the worst organization I have ever seen. There are some dysfunctional organizations. Don't get me wrong, right? There are some real, just organizations that just, they don't even care about winning. They just want to make as much money as possible. They're dysfunctional, right? But this is a different level of dysfunction. I don't think I've seen this type of dysfunction to where it's incompetence at its highest level and purposely trying to stay in the dramatic headlines, right? Even from a media perspective, this whole thing was not about what Kyrie Irving did, right? They turned this into a witch hunt. They turned this into a big thing. Whether you think Kyrie did something wrong or not, you can't blindly look at what this situation is and go, yeah, that was right. The punishment did not fit the crime. Even if you believe that Kyrie Irving was just deserved being condemned, that this was all of the stuff that has happened was justifiable. Even if he did apologize just to apologize because he was suspended, who cares? He still apologized. So what? He was so you never wanted him to apologize is what it is. So no matter what he did, you're still going to point out, well, he only apologized because he got suspended, or he only apologized because of this. If you're already suspended him, then why do you care? At that point, who cares? Why would you apologize? You're already suspended. Everything's already out. Unless that was your one rule to come back, okay, then maybe you apologize just so you can get back in the game. But that wasn't it. They want him to jump through hoops and do all this crazy stuff. It's insane. And I'm glad players are coming out and saying like this is not something good. But the owner doesn't care. But it's allowed for the owner to be completely okay in contempt with people literally dying because of his decisions. Like that's okay. That's fit for the Brooklyn Nets organization. Ime Udoka and all his situation, that's fit for the organization. But Kyrie Irving is unfit for the organization. And even after Kyrie has apologized, has met with, the Players Association, has met with Adam Silver, has met with Joe Tsai and Sean Mark, and everybody's talked about how great of a conversation it was and how, he's really turned it around and like this was clearly a misunderstanding and this, that, and the other. Yet it's still not enough for Kyrie Irving to return. But the NBA has allowed a lot worse from players to enter the league, right? Completely fine, completely okay. Miles Bridges is probably going to be on a roster next season and is probably going to get a pretty decent payday still, even after he had actions, right? He went to court, he settled outside of court, he pleaded no contest, and probably going to pay millions of dollars to have that situation go away. He physically harmed somebody. There have been players, athletes in multiple sports that have done physical harm to other people and just get to walk back on like nothing's happened, right? But the Brooklyn Nets can create this criteria and everything like that, and nobody's stopping that. Adam Silver hasn't stepped in and gone, no, we're not doing this. We're not jumping through all these hoops, doing all this stuff. Look, Kyrie's can apologize. Should he do a public, media day where he sits and he talks to the media, answers the questions? Yes, because you're going to have to do that regardless. You're going to have to face the media at some point. And Kyrie has said, that he's not afraid of it. He said he's not afraid of the camera. He's not afraid of the microphone. He's a, beacon of light and he'll embrace it, right? He's got to sit down and have that conversation as, whether he should have to or not. At the end of the day, still an organization, still a business. You're still in the public eye. You still have to do something, right? And I do understand that. So you have that press conference, you get through that press conference, and that should be it. He should be able to play again. But according to the Brooklyn Nets, he's not. According to the Brooklyn Nets, the public doesn't buy that he's sorry, and so therefore he's not doing enough, and blah, 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 blah. Like, Joe Tsai doesn't care about his public reputation. He doesn't care about what the public believes or what the public thinks or if the public cares. He doesn't. Because if he did, he wouldn't be trying to hire Ime Udoka and sign off on that and be okay with that. He wouldn't be okay with what he got going on and behind the scenes that are literally causing genocide and stuff. Like, it's insane to me that you get a post from the owner of the Brooklyn Nets saying this. Like, it's just, again, it was not about the situation. This was about Kyrie Irving. That's why I don't think Kyrie Irving's coming back to the Brooklyn Nets. And maybe he does. Maybe he does. If the Brooklyn Nets bring Kyrie Irving back, the Brooklyn Nets deserve everything. I hope Kyrie goes in there and just destroys that organization. I hope he just does. I hope he pulls a Ben Simmons on Philly, but worse. And you're not going to be able to just pay him to sit at home because all of his, controversies, warranted or not, they're all off-court issues. They're all off-court things, right? So even if he's sitting on the couch and he tweets something that, the media and that, the Brooklyn Nets don't see fit, guess who has to deal with it? The Brooklyn Nets, because he's still representing the organization. And he's not going to stay next season. So why would you prolong it? What's the point? At least if you get rid of him this year, you save yourself probably $10 million. You get that, the cloud that is Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie Irving is so unfit for the Brooklyn Nets organization, right? According to the Brooklyn Nets, he's unfit. Oh, so why would you want him even just being associated with the Brooklyn Nets? You waive him, you get rid of, what the Brooklyn Nets perceive as their problem. Not just that, but the Brooklyn Nets are winning right now. They're playing a top 4 defense since, Vaughn has taken over as the head coach. They're not playing isolation as much. They're moving the ball more. They're actually playing really good basketball right now. So if Kyrie is really a problem, why would you want to bring him back to the Brooklyn Nets to continue to be a problem? And not just that, now you're going to have to change your entire system you got going on right now. It doesn't make any sense from a basketball perspective, to a marketing perspective, to a media perspective, to you name it. It doesn't make any sense. They might as well just buy him out, let him move on. Because here's the thing, nobody's going to trade for Kyrie Irving this season. If he walks, you're going to get nothing for him anyway, and you're still going to be cap strapped, and you're still going to be in a tough situation. No matter how you shake it, you're going to be in a tough situation. And so what's the difference? At least now you actually put yourself in a position because the team is playing good, right? And if Kyrie really is part of that, him being gone is really part of that success, then why would you want to bring him back? And on top of that, save yourself some money. You're going to be in the same position regardless, but that's not the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets clearly aren't competent enough for that, right? The Brooklyn Nets don't waive Kyrie Irving or buy him out this next week, then I don't know what to say about the Brooklyn Nets. Like I said, they deserve everything that happens. If Kyrie implodes that team, if Kyrie makes another tweet that just goes crazy and they have to deal with it, I don't want to hear a single thing from Sean Marks and Joe Tsai. I don't want to hear nothing from them. I don't want to hear a peep because you did that to yourself. You had an opportunity to fix all of this in the offseason and you chose not to. You thought you could bring it all in and everything would be good and Kyrie Irving would buy in and Kevin Durant would buy in when they both told you they don't want to be there, right? Don't want to be there. And you thought that you could force them to be there, and now look what happened. They deserve it. They deserve all of it. Let Kyrie end up with the Lakers at some point, one way or another, so who cares? What are you trying to, you're going to hold on to him, what, so the Lakers can't get him this year? And you're jeopardizing and you're ruining your own organization to do so. We're still, every day, there's still new headlines and new information, new details about Kyrie Irving. But you want to get back to just basketball. The Nets are winning. The Nets look really good right now, and that's not the conversation. The conversation is Joe Tsai, the Brooklyn Nets, and Kyrie Irving. And that's going to continue to be the conversation as long as you have Kyrie Irving, because that's what the media narrative wants. Yet, all the Brooklyn Nets keep doing is saying all they want is to get back to basketball. And they just want to get back. Joe Tsai is on record saying he'd rather have a 40-win team that he's proud of than the team he has. And yet, he's proven otherwise. You're going to lose him regardless. He's probably going to the Lakers regardless. No team is going to trade for him regardless. So just be done, move on. You had your opportunity, you blew it. You would think Joe Tsai as a businessman would understand bad investments and go, you know what? I made a bad investment, tried to make it work. I tried to, ride it out, make it work, didn't work, cut the investment and move on, right? That's what businessmen do. All businessmen make bad decisions. And what do? You cut your losses, you move on, and you find the next one and you let it go. Because again, all they are doing is hurting their future. Because now you run the risk of, now you have the conversation of the Nets have gone too far. Now you have players coming out and condemning you. And one of those players is Jaylen Brown, who, if you trade Kevin Durant, you're hoping the Boston Celtics will give you Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Derek White, and a bunch of draft picks. What happens if they try to do that and now Jaylen Brown says, I ain't playing for you. Look what you just did to Kyrie Irving. You don't think other stars are paying attention and know the situation? Even if those stars believe Kyrie Irving did something wrong, you're taking it to another level. You think that star wants to go to you? You think in the future, if you have cap space and you have another opportunity to do the Kyrie KD thing again with two other players, you think those players are going to want to go to Brooklyn? No. Why would they? Nobody blames the Brooklyn Nets for trying this experiment. There's not a single team in the league that wouldn't have taken Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving if they had the opportunity to. Every team in the league would have done it. It didn't work out. You have one playoff series win. You guys started the season off terrible. and now you're imploding. Start fresh. Get rid of Kyrie Irving. Let him be free. Let him go do what he wants to do. Let him go find the team he wants to find. And you as an organization can finally move forward. Just doesn't make any sense otherwise. But anyway, again, as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between, down in the comment section below.